What if I told you there was an illness worse than COVID and that you're living through it right now? And that disease is the attention epidemic. Over the past couple of generations, 20 to 50 years, our attention has been attacked by constant media and stimulation. It's making it harder to focus and really concentrate on the things that matter. Researchers are saying that the biggest issue about this isn't that we're losing the ability to focus, it's the fact that we're losing the biological capacity to have deep thought. Think about it like this: if you can't control your thoughts, you can't control your actions. If your mind is the one that's deciding what you're gonna do rather than you deciding what you want to do, you'll never be in control ever again. And it seems like every single day they find new ways to control your thoughts, control your actions, control what you see and what you end up doing. Think of the constant stream of information on a daily basis. You have the news that is going on 24/7. That means there is no time during the day where there isn't information that you could be observing. They are taking your attention at whatever potential time you'll give it to them. It could be 3 a.m. and you're watching a news channel because you want to do something. You don't want to focus. You don't want to go to sleep. You don't want to do something. You're taking it and giving it to somebody else. And you know, the news channel, that's one of the slightest ones. It'll tell you some things that are going on, you know, the weather, some sports, whatever. But when you go into the next level of it and go down to where it actually hits home, it's social media. Think about how much you know about so many random people, their lives, what they do, what's about them, you know, what got them to where they are. People that you've never actually met in real life. Here are 3 big ones I would say that are really most relevant right now. When you think about streamers, the amount of people that are streaming and watching streamers has increased significantly. Twitch, Kick, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all these live streaming platforms have blown up significantly, and they always have current viewers. You're gonna watch them because they're entertaining. You know about their lives because you're watching them live their lives. Think about movie stars. So many people know what's going on in movie star lives, their drama, their romance, what they're doing, how much they get paid, yada, 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 what movies they have been in, that they might even be lacking on their own self-knowledge. And finally, athletes. Athletes is a major category. There's so much going on with athletes. They play, you know, on a daily, weekly basis, whatever it might be. You know their contract, you know what team they played for, you know what teammates they've played with, you know everything about them. There are so many people that are so completely obsessed by one of these categories or some other category that they take their attention and they focus it on that. And this isn't to say like, oh, you can't enjoy them, but there's some people that just know way too much. It's like they made their whole lives dedicated to this, and that's all there is to their life. They don't put any other attention or any other resources in any other valuable or fruitful thing where their information could be, you know, learned. People idolize these people so much that it's to the point where they're incorporated everywhere you look. These people are seen as above humanity, above stars, you know, above every other normal person that there is, and they're idolized. They're really just idols in the eyes of other people, of normal people that are living their lives. Then they get put in ads and you see them even more. I remember walking down Michigan Avenue in Chicago and you see ads for perfume and it has movie stars in there, different celebrities that you would know. Think about food ads. I go to Walgreens, I looked at a Snickers bar and Josh Allen's on a Snickers bar. I didn't even know he had a partnership with Snickers, but I saw it. Clothes, same thing. You have the same athletes that, you know, represent those clothing brands, and that's one whole, you know, scheme. It takes your attention and your love for a certain individual, puts it to another thing, and it's kind of just redistributing what you're looking at and what you're thinking about on a daily basis. Think about it like this. This is a whole little wheel. If you like sports, we're going to continue going with Josh Allen. Let's say you go football. You watch football on Sundays. You see Josh Allen. Josh Allen's pretty good at what he does. Then you remember that. You go to the store, you see a Snickers, and you see Josh Allen on the Snickers. You think about sports again, and then you go think about sports, you think about footballs, you think about Sundays, Josh Allen. The cycle continues. This isn't a perfect demonstration, but there are so many different categories and different ways that they correlate one department with a whole nother department, and it makes you just kind of seamlessly focus on something completely different. For the majority of humanity, we lived in a very high stress, low stimulation lifestyle. We were hunters and gatherers that had to, you know, fight animals to get their food. And it wasn't like there's a lot to do in their free time. You're either hunting, sleeping, or preparing something for your household. In comparison to today, we have a very low stress, high stimulation lifestyle. Think about the stress that you experience on a day-to-day basis. It might just be getting yelled at by your boss, or maybe meeting a deadline, or doing something for your kids. It's pretty low stress compared to, you know, hunting an animal. The amount of stimulation, on the other hand, is through the roof. There is stimulation every single direction you look. You go in your car, you listen to the radio, you hear the radio, there's stimulation there. You hear about ads, you hear about things that are happening. You go to the office, you see a billboard or some kind of ad right outside. That's another form of stimulation. You listen to music up the elevator with your headphones, more stimulation. No matter what you do, there's stimulation that is in every corner of our lives. The most impactful of them all is your cell phone. Every time you look at your phone, you might have a new notification. This notification is kind of like gambling. Every time you pick up your phone, it's like you have your handle on the lever of a slot machine. And once you turn your phone on, pulling it, you're hoping that you have some kind of notification that will ignite your brain, that'll excite it, that'll have you, jumping because there's something interesting. Like if you got a news article saying, oh, XYZ happened, that's like, wow, that's stimulation for your brain, and that's like a jackpot on a slot machine. The issue with this is that scientists say that every time that you get distracted, say you pick up your phone, you look at it, you see an ad, to get you back into the deep focus state that you were, it takes roughly about 23 minutes to, fully concentrate and get back into the rhythm that you were in. 23 minutes of lost time just because you decided to pick up your phone and gamble for some extra attention and stimulation. There's a very famous saying that makes a lot more sense nowadays than it ever has before. There's no such thing as a free lunch. There are no free lunches in the world. Nobody's giving out handouts for any reason. Think about it like this. If somebody gives you something for free, what do they stand to benefit from it? It's your respect, attention, potentially publicity, whatever it might be. It's not like it's a free transaction with no other end of the bargain. If you're utilizing something that's free, it's probably because you're the product. Think of social media. It's free. Wow, free. Free is awesome. Don't you want to do something that's free? No, you don't. Because when you go on social media, you are the product. You're being sold post creators ads. You're being sold post creators and ads. You're being sold this information and stimulation from outside sources that's causing you to A, lose your attention, B, lose your time, C, potentially lose your money. Just because social media is free doesn't mean that they can't get you to spend money on it. Think of creators. People donate to creators. Donate to creators. Think about ads. People buy things. You could buy a shirt. You could buy, a watch. You could buy something. There are ads for pretty much anything in the world. And although social media is free, those things aren't. They get you to spend money in one way or another. The main issue with this is that social media is getting to a point where it knows you better than you know you. It can track what you like, what you watch, how much time you watch it, and using that information, it creates a sequence of posts that are going to be most stimulating and most likely for you to watch and, enjoy. AI will take what posts you like watch, comments, whatever it might be, whatever you do with those posts. And then the next, series of 10 posts are going to be a mix of things that you've liked, watched, reposted, or something that they might experiment that you might enjoy watching. And the odds of you enjoying it are high because they've kind of calculated what kind of content is going to best suit your mind, your interest, your, best chance of keeping you on their platform. And next time, every time you swipe down, you're going to see another post. That post might be a hit, it might be a miss, you might go scroll another one, and then it's a winner. I don't know what that was. It's a winner. It's an awesome post. You watch the whole thing, you like it, and then they get more information on you, and then the cycle continues. They're going to keep finding things that are going to keep you hooked, entertained for as long as humanly possible. And this is leading to a lot of issues, especially in the young generations like mine, especially the ones younger than me. The increase in anxiety is through the roof. ADHD, also insane. Social interaction is going down. Social media is cooking your brain by making you unaware of your time perspective, your reality, what seems real. The thing about social media is that everything can be fake. Most of it is. And when you see it, you kind of expect it to be like that. You expect the real world to be what this fake reality that other people have made, giving you unrealistic expectations for a life that doesn't truly exist. A lot of it's using color grading, it's using editing, it's using AI. Think about how many AI videos out there that your parents believe are real. The ones of the deer jumping on the trampoline, Sora AI. All these videos are things that don't actually exist. It's now that, oh, it could be AI. Back then, people didn't know it was AI. People just edited it to make it look that way. So what's the solution, you might ask? What can you do to be aware and set yourself up and make yourself in a great position where you might not be impacted by this as much? The most powerful thing that you can do in this age to help your brain relax and not be overly stimulated, kind of do a cleanse, is fix your environment. If you're in an environment surrounded by stimulation, you've got a TV in your room, you got a PS4 in your room, you got a phone, tablet, laptop, make the separation and make a cut. Cut away all those distractions so that you have an area where you can focus, somewhere where you can do deep work. Do the things that matter. Think without being constantly bombarded with notifications from other sources. The other thing is Be okay with boredom. Be bored. I think one of the most powerful things that we had as kids was being bored. There were times where you had tasks and things you had to do where you couldn't just kind of, scroll on your iPad or play a game. Kids nowadays at a restaurant while they're waiting for food are just playing a game so their parents don't have to deal with it. As kids, at least when I was growing up, we had to be bored. We had to, maybe color, maybe talk, maybe just sit there in silence. Boredom is a muscle that needs to be trained. The more you're on your phone and the more you scroll, it's gonna be the harder to train your boredom. The other thing you can do is set a time where you don't use your phone. If you can go 30 to 60 minutes without your phone, you're already ahead of the curve. A lot of people need that constant interaction, their constant simulation. 30 minutes isn't that a lot much time. Think about, maybe reading a book, sit in silence, maybe, draw, do something. Something where it doesn't involve you getting a quick hit of dopamine and it's more of a prolonged, worked effort for you to get that actual value that comes from it. Your attention is your most valuable asset. It's one thing that you can actually control and determine where it goes, who gets to spend it, who gets to have it. If all these companies and all these people want your attention, why don't you? Take control. Take your life by the reins and control where your attention goes. What are you looking at? What are you interacting with on a daily basis? And is it actually helpful for your life? I want you to drop a comment, leave one thing that you're going to do or something that you're doing right now that works, that helps you continue to focus and keep your attention locked in your own grasps rather than giving it out to others. What's something that helps you stay in control? The whole world wants your attention, but you get to decide who gets it. Think what's best for you and don't stop launching towards your dreams.